now that the fiberglass is dried pretty well, and you can see, look, you can still turn the screws. Everything looks good. I took some shots of there and everything so that you guys can see how it laid in. I went in there with the camera, so it looks pretty good. So, all right, now what we're going to do is manual is on the rudder and elevator servo installation. We don't need to do a throttle servo since we're going to have an electronic speed controller, and we'll hook in the rudder, the elevator, servos. So, and these are the servos I got. They're just some very inexpensive ones. Again, like I said, the kids will be flying it mainly. But I don't know. I got good reviews on it. They're from Value Hobbies in Addison. These are the, it says Toward Pro, Toward Pro. They're the MG946R. It's a digital high torque, it says. So I'll list the on the thing how much torque and the speed of it is and everything. I think it was 0.13 was the speed. And it comes with your horns and stuff and the little rubber booties and the eyelets and stuff for the servos. So we will get those in. And again, some nice little convenient reusable bags. Okay. So basically, we're going to put the rubber in there, and they just pop on in. You got to work them a little bit. Make sure they're in there good, and they don't look all deformed. Once they're in there, it should look really nice, just like that. So, and we'll put them all in. And if you see, one side's totally flat and not open, and this one's open on this one. That's the one that goes in there, and then the fully rubbered side over there would be on the out part. So you gotta work it in, work that up. Okay, looks pretty good. Okay, so got the rubber on there, and then these little eyelets go in here. They're like that, and they got a little lip on them. And the lip is the top part, or you can have it as the bottom part. I am going to pick it to go on the bottom. That way it doesn't crush through the wood. And then with the type of screw head that's in here, like this, see how big that is? That way when I go down onto the rubber, I'll be able to sit down on the ledge or on the little top of this rivet. This part will be on the wood. The reason why I like doing it like that, and I think that's what it's probably supposed to be, is if you do it this way and tighten up, this will crush through the wood. And then eventually you're just going to have a sloppy servo. So you got to work these in. We'll work every one of them in. Push them in there. And then we will size up our box that this goes in. There's a little cutout in there. And then we'll have to do some trimming with the Dremel. Always. We'll do the rest of it after dinner. So if you could see, too bad I don't know how well you could see that in the camera. I'll try to make it a good shot, but the rubbers all look pretty good. And you want it so that the brass eyelet there, that comes out and comes through the rubber and it doesn't pinch through it. So, okay. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, so I'll do the rest of these other three, and we'll be good to go. Okay, so now what we want to do is we need to test fit it. We're going to have to cut these open a little bit more, but you see, we'll have an elevator one here and an elevator. They'll move the same direction to split elevator. And then we'll have the rudder here with a dual horn. So it'll be like this. Okay, so what we need to do is match up for the size, because we're going to have to trim it. It's going to be a little big here. So put the elevator in there. If you can see it, see, it just doesn't quite fit. It's just a little too tight. So we're going to open it up there a little bit, and it looks like the side to side ain't too bad. It's close. I think we'll be okay. We're just going to have to make it a little longer. See that? It'll work well there. let's throw that one. So basically I'll put the kind of set the servo in there so that I can get an idea how much I got to take off. It doesn't look like much, maybe a 1/16 of an inch. Yeah, not much, about a 1/16 of an inch. So, and I'm going to take that off to the back side. So basically right here I'm just going to take a 1/16 of an inch. It isn't the end of the world. You can feel that, see that? A little loose. Stressy. Basically we're going to take off right here. Nice little line. I'm just going to draw it out like that. Nothing fancy. But I want to cut it straight. I don't want to overshoot it because of the screws go in there. That's why I'm just highlighting a little bit of the line. Same with over here. It should be all good. And we'll cut this out with our Dremel. Here you go. Not too much. Just a little bit. Got a little rotor zip kind of thing going on there. Ryobi. It's not rotor zip, but you know, it's just the brand name of rotor zip. I like it because it's fast. This one's barely going to fit in there. It'll be okay. Excellent. So away we go. We're going to start cutting here. Doer. Alright, let's do a test fit. See how close I got it. Oh, it's going to be pretty good right there. We might have a little notch for that, but usually you can kind of squeeze them in there, get them in there kind of close. This will be the rudder, and we'll label it. We don't have a whole bunch of wires out yet, so there you go. Look at that. Nice fit. There's enough distance in there. You didn't get to see how that fit. See that? It fit. There's just a little bit. You got about a little bit more than 1/8 of an inch play there. But when you look at it, where the screws are, the wood screws are going to go to hold down the servo. If you look at it, they are they're in good shape. They have plenty of wood to bite on, and we'll be putting some thin CA on here to strengthen this. I didn't want to fill it with epoxy. I didn't think it really needed a full epoxy hit. So that was the rudder servo, and now we'll throw in the elevator here, and okay. We'll make sure all fit good and what we like, what you want to see, and then we'll glue it up. Oh, this one, because of the angle, would need a little more on the width, because there we go. This was a little in the way. Excellent. Looks good. Looks good. Like that. Okay. You go. You see that there? Okay. Then the other servo, the other elevator servo. Let me show you why we got two elevators. If you have no idea why, then you'll know why. Why is there two elevator servos? I like it better this way. More pressure. The elevator takes most of the brunt, I feel, you know. Constantly moving. So is the ailerons, but there we go, and that fits excellent. They're two nice fits. Get some of that sawdust out of there. So if you can't see that there, hopefully you can. It's a good fit. They fit nice. We'll Get these close to where we want them. We're going to mark the holes. There's my center punch for y'all. There we go. Center punch. I'm going to space them right in the middle of the gaps. I'm just going to give them a little poke right now because I'm going to mark them. I'm going to put a tiny drill hole in there. I'm going to thread them. And then we're going to CA everything. And the reason why I'm going to thread them is so when I thread them, I don't want to thread them after I CA. I want to thread them before I put the CA glue all over. And the reason is this way the threads are coated with it. And you can hear it with my pressure of my fingers, some slight cracking. That's okay. It's plenty strong enough. Put a lot of downward force on it. Oh, this one's a little. There we go. So let's see. This is the rudder. Good to go. Even though I don't need to mark it, I'm going to mark it rudder. That way I know, and that's going to be the rudder on the, well, from the top, it would be on the left side. Okay, this one is a little off. We got it. I'm just highlighting the dimples with the pencil tip. That way I know what I'm looking at. Line. Okay, go. Okay, got the drill all set up. Mess on the table, I guess. Alright, I'm gonna drill a couple of these holes. Good. There we go. Okay. So that should work out really well. The holes should match up. That looks good. Looks good. I'm confident in the work. Okay, we're going to take some thin CA, a lot of it, and we are going to soak it around in there. And we're going to take a little brush and we'll brush it around. I'm going to do this whole board now. Okay, right to the board, side of the board. I get the corners because if anything breaks, this is where it's going to break. You see how it's just absorbing into the wood? So we do going a little more on here. Now, you want to be ventilated pretty good because the fumes are going to get obnoxious with so much CA going around. But it'll be like a laminated piece of wood. It's going to be quite hard. There we go. I got my brush. I'm going to brush it around. Get it all in the spots. That way it's just the wood's fully coated and it's drying fast. It's gonna start to dry fast, especially when I start spreading it around like this. Okay. Looks like we could use just a little bit more right there. Maybe right there. That's pretty good. Four-piece ain't too bad. That's for the inside of the cockpit. Wouldn't mind straightening that up a little bit. I'm just going to add some glue into it so it strengthens. That's it. I like to use the glue. Strengthen up a little bit. That's the floor of the cockpit right there. So I strengthened a little bit because we're going to have the little guy that goes in there and probably the switches and stuff. So, alright. Good. It went really well. If you see, look at it. Got a little bit change of color. Looks like I missed some right here though. Just add a little more. Just a little bit. We don't want to saturate it and have it so it's a hump. Then it's a waste. Just need a little bit to stiffen it up. And you're going to see how it really helps it out. Okay, good. Add some glue here, add some glue there. You know, this looks pretty good. These I've already done. We got fiberglass, epoxy on some of those. Okay, we're gonna let this dry a little bit, real nice, and then we'll install the servos. So we'll get ready for the next step. Okay, the CA looked like it dried pretty good. Not bad. Let's see. Much harder though. A little bit stiffer, not so easily to crack. Okay, so we're going to install the two elevator servos and the rudder servo. And here's the elevator. It's going to go in this way. I'll mark the wires later. Channel 1, 2, 3, you know. That way when all these wires are in here, it doesn't look, you know, they're easily read. You're going to want that one day if you have trouble, or on the very first checkup, you accidentally hooked it in the wrong channel. At least you don't have to route through everything. Okay, rudder. This is the elevator one I designated. Really good fit. Okay. Just want to double check. That's how we got them sitting. That's how they want them sitting. So, looks good. Then the rudder servo will be opposite of that. Okay. Oh, look, I got an assistant. My daughter Vanessa's here.
Hi, guys.
She'll be helping me. Phillips screwdriver. So we're going to get the screws in there now. Have them separated out here. Vanessa's good helper. Vanessa's got her own YouTube channel. It's Vanessa Toy Reviews. It's on YouTube. She does like Shopkins and all kinds of toys reviews. And she just did a... she just got done filming today with a drone with one of her little quadcopters. Here, baby, honey, maybe you can hold the model just a little like that so they can see me working on the. This one is way inside. It's a hard shot to get. Producer's busy editing, so we're just gonna go down. We're just gonna screw them down just enough where they touch. Those are nice and tight. Okay, and they touch nice. There's still a little rubber flex in them. Okay. want to get them all pretty much set at the same pinch on the rubber where it's just touching. That'll be important. Okay, looks good. No need one stressing out more than the other. It's very good. That's where we're going to sit. Alright, that's the one rudder one. I'll just zip along for the other ones. Right, Vanessa, maybe you can hand me the screws so I don't have to keep picking them up.
Okay.
Getting a little lazy. Let's screw the other rudder one in there. Can you get one screw? Thank you. And one more. And we should have 4 left, right?
Yes.
Let's see. Yes, we go. Okay, another screw. Oh,
sorry.
It's okay.
This probably does take about 5 to 1 week to make.
Yeah, it depends on how much time you spend on it every day.
Yes.
Well, we've got so many modifications, so much fun stuff that we're going to put on it. It'll take us a little long. It's okay. Okay. So we got just enough pressure there. I want these to be able to flex just a little bit. Not too much, just enough to where if there was a hard impact on one of the controlled surfaces, they give a little flex. Everything dampens. That way, no bad accidents. So here we go with our wires. We got those all set up. Put like a little tie on there. That way, we don't have a disaster. A little tie from my Hyperion Vengeance quadcopter racer there. Temporary using it. Okay. There we go. So we got the rudder, and then the 2 elevators. And the reason why we got 2 elevators servos, Vanessa, is because we have a split elevator with no control rod and no rod in the middle. A lot of times you'll see there'll be one horn, but then there'll be a rod that is epoxied in that goes from here and goes back into this one. So when this one moves, it lifts this one. This is much better. You got both of them on each control surfaces and 2 servos with this big of an elevator. That's going to be more than enough. So as I'm putting the horns on at this point, and we'll just kind of set them in there, but we're not going to really, we'll take them off before we turn the radio on. That way when we get them all zeroed and centered, then we'll put these on. So we're just going to set these on there for the purpose of not losing them. And you can see we're going to have to cut these down. These are much larger in length than we need. I'll probably cut several lobes off, especially when they look like, you know, they could possibly hit here. So, okay.
And
Alright.
if we did not tell you, the Cessna 152 did come with a little guide to come in to put inside this guy.
Yeah.
I did
Well,
not know that.
yeah, and we got to get another one. We're gonna have another
Watch our
on there.
video if you're watching this video right now.
¿Por qué? Okay, those went in there nice. And for some reason I'm missing, oh no, all 3 screws are in there. So that's what we got. So these 2 will basically move at the same time for the elevator. They'll go a Y harness. We'll go into that, which we have here. The Y harness. Here we go. So this Y harness is going to be just like we have for the ailerons, and the 2 rudders will connect right into there. The 2 elevators, I should say. We'll go into one, so then that goes into one port. But we'll show you that later when we get to that point. So that's what it looks like. Looks pretty nice. This goes back and forth. We will be cutting that down. Okay. So there we have it, and now we're going to move on to the next step, and that's making the wheel pants and the landing gear. And